So yesterday was Magic Q. How many of you found something? Magic Q.
I I found, ma'am.
Great. And what was that?
Uh, the same ambulance I found, and someone talking to me was telling that he was having three blocks in the heart. So I was thanking my heart.
Great.
Whatever we discussed yesterday, many of the same things, repeated.
Good. Great. So chalo, let's start. Let's join our hands, close our eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Take one more deep breath. Release. Take one more deep breath and say thank you for the magical air that you're breathing. Thank you, universe, for this divine time. Thank you, universe, for all the abundance that is flowing to us and the mindset that is changing day by day. Thank you for all the happiness that is flowing into our lives. And thank you for all the good health which is coming to us. Thank you for all the money and the lovely family we have to help, support, and take care of us. Thank you for bringing us into this journey of gratitude so that we breathe gratitude and we know how to live with gratitude. Thank you for choosing us and blessing us. Thank you for making me a channel of blessing so that I enlighten other people's life and they enlighten further. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And open your eyes. So today we are moving into another great chapter of knowing when we make mistakes, what we can do to it. Okay. So today's chapter is we have reached to day 26. Magically transform mistakes into blessings. Able to see my screen? Okay, great. Thank you, Kumaranji. Magically transform mistakes into blessings. Okay. So in life, many times we make small mistakes, sometimes small, sometimes big. But she's saying magically transform mistake into blessing. How we can take these mistakes and make them into blessings and know why these mistakes happen. That is what we are going to learn today in this practice. Okay, so you can see in the picture, source of love, something light falling from here. So she says, turn your wounds into wisdom. Okay, every time someone breaks our heart, something wrong happens, right? We get wounded internally. We feel very sorry for ourselves. Oh, how could I do this mistake? So we create a wound inside also. See, the wounds which you see outside physically are visible. But in the invisible realm, we don't see what is happening inside emotionally. Our hearts are breaking, our soul is breaking. So she's saying that you turn the wounds into wisdom. यानी जो भी आपके जख्म है ना उसको बुद्धिमता का रूप दे दो. What is बुद्धिमता? Wisdom. Means you make it into wisdom. And how you can do that, we'll learn today. So Oprah Winfrey, media personality and businesswoman. I love this lady. You might have heard about her, Oprah Winfrey, the dark woman, right? She has gone through lots and lots in her life, but how miraculously she has changed today. She was molested, she was everything she has gone through, lots and lots because of her color. She was told something. So She says, turn your, that is why she has said this, that turn your wounds into wisdom. So when you become, when you turn whatever you have got hurt into wisdom, you are able to grow and move out to the world. And that is what she did in her life. Okay, every single mistake is a blessing in disguise. Today's magical practice will prove it, because you are about to discover that there are actually untold blessings hidden within every mistake. You know, many times what happens that we do some mistake and then we feel, oh my God, this shouldn't have happened. Maybe train ticket you forgot to book, or plane ticket you forgot to book, or you did not notice that the plane is delayed. Any small mistake, any small mistake, or you invested in some business and you failed there, or you invested in your money in something and you lost there, right? So when you make such type of mistakes, you become so rigid with it. Now I'm not going to invest in any company. Now I'm not going to buy any shares. Now I'm not going to invest in any property. Okay, this is what a mindset becomes. So today she's saying that today's magical practice, today you're going to learn how we can find blessings in these mistakes. So a child makes many mistakes while learning how to ride a bike or write, and we don't give it a second thought because we know that through their mistakes they will learn and eventually master what they are trying to do. Okay, so when a child is growing up, the child walks also, falls, right? When the child is learning to walk, when the child becomes 9, 10 months, and it starts catching the wall and learning to walk, that time also when it falls, we say, oh, hey, we just do all this like that. And you say, "Achha, oh, okay, 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 come on, get up again." And nothing happened, nothing happened. And we let the child move. But when we make mistakes, we become very harsh on ourselves. So she's saying, so why is it that the adults are so hard on themselves when they make a mistake? The same rule that applies to children also applies to you. Okay, so the same rule that applies to children also applies to you. We all make mistakes, and if we didn't make mistakes, then we'd never learn anything and we wouldn't grow any smarter or wiser. Okay, so if we did not make mistakes only, our growth wouldn't have happened. And that is why universe or God has given us that intelligence. Use your intelligence. Even if you fail, use your intelligence to come back. So if she's saying that if you do not learn anything from your mistakes, you will never, 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 never move ahead into your life. Okay. Now we all have different talents, right? We all have different types of talents, but we never recognize them only. We always look or focus on those things which did not work for us. But what talent we have, we never look at that. We never praise that talent. We never appreciate that talent. Oh, I'm good at cooking. Oh, I am good at managing my office and the household both. So, isn't that wonderful? But we never appreciate that talents. We never appreciate. And she said, we have the freedom to make our own choices. And that means we have the freedom to make mistakes. So when we have the choice, to make every day we have the freedom to make choice, right? The choice to wear your clothes, the choice to think what you want. No one can change your thinking, right? If you think that way, no one can change your thinking. So you have the choice to think, you have the choice to eat, you have the choice to drink. You have the choice to wear what you want. You have the choice to eat what type of food you want. You have the choice when you want to sleep and when you want to get up. So we have in our daily life, in your day-to-day life, if you see, we have the freedom to make our own choices. And then when we have a freedom to make choices, then we have the freedom to make mistakes also. We cannot say no, we cannot make a mistake. Mistake helps us to move forward. So mistakes can hurt. But if we don't learn from the mistake we have made, the pain we have suffered from it has been for nothing. In fact, by the law of attraction, we will make the same mistake over and over again until the consequences hurt us so much that we finally learn from it. It's the very reason why mistakes hurt, so that we do learn from them and don't make them repeatedly. I repeat, she says it's the very reason why mistakes hurt, and so that we do learn from them and don't make them repeatedly. So she's saying that even by the law of attraction, if you make the same mistake again and again and you are not learning from that, okay? So anytime, any in life, anytime you do any mistake, what are you going to do? You're going to take a journal, write down, what did I learn from my mistakes? In your journal, you're going to write this question to yourself. What did I learn from today? Okay, today I spoke very rudely with my boss. This was your mistake. So when you reflect at night, write it down. What did I learn from this mistake? Write what I felt that time. Why did I speak that time? So you will understand, you will understand why you are doing this. You will understand from your own mistakes. So mistakes can hurt, but if we don't learn from the mistakes we have made, the pain we have suffered from it has been for nothing. In fact, by the law of attraction, we will make the same mistake over and over again until the consequences hurt us so much that we finally learn from it. It's the very reason why mistakes hurt, so that we do learn from them and don't make them repeatedly. What does that mean? That if you have not learned from your mistake and moved ahead, then you will never understand where you have made your mistake, and that mistake will keep on coming again in front of you by the law of attraction till you learn from it. Okay? To learn from a mistake, we first have to own it. And this is where many people can become undone because they often blame someone else for their mistake. So, very important sentence this is, you have to take the responsibility. You have to take the responsibility. For what? Okay, I take the responsibility of my own actions. When I take the responsibility of my own actions, first, when I start accepting it, then only I will be able to know what exactly I need to learn from that. But if you keep on blaming other people, then you will never learn from that mistake. So let's consider the scenario of being pulled over by the by the police for speeding and being given a speeding ticket. Instead of taking responsibility for the fact that we were speeding, we blamed the police because they were hiding in the bushes on the highway around the bend and we couldn't see them. They had a radar gun, so we didn't stand a chance by the mistake. But the mistake was ours because we were the one who chose to speed. So she's giving one example. So she's saying, let's consider the scenario of being pulled over by the police for speeding and being given a speeding ticket. Okay, so instead of taking the responsibility for the fact that we were speeding, we blame the police. Okay, we blame the police because we feel that they were hiding in the bushes, they were not standing in the front, and we start blaming them. But saying the mistake was ours because we were the one who chose to speed. Okay, the problem with blaming other people for a mistake is that we will still suffer the pain and the consequences of a mistake, but we didn't learn from it, and so bingo, we will attract making the same mistake again. Yeah, there was someone at the door. There's no one at home. Yeah. So, the problem with blaming other people for our mistake is that we still suffer the pain and the consequences of our mistakes. But we didn't learn from it. And so, bingo, we will attract making the same mistake again. So, when we start blaming other people for the mistake, when you don't reflect upon yourself, okay, the mistake was mine, I became very angry, I got angry, maybe there is some problem between a relationship going on, maybe a husband and wife are not getting along, or maybe the children are not getting along, anything it could be, maybe it could be your office issues also. The breakdowns can happen in any area of your life. So she says, we are human beings. You are human. You will make mistakes. But if you keep on blaming other people, you are not learning from them. And it's one of the most beautiful things about being human. But you must learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, your life will have a lot of unnecessary pain. How do you learn from a mistake? That is gratitude. How many ever mistakes you're making. But if you put gratitude, into your life, if you bring gratitude into your life by writing gratitude for your mistake and what did you learn from that? Suppose my health has gone down. Example, whose mistake it is? My mistake. I did not take care. And what I say, my family did not give me time to exercise. My family did not give me time to eat food. My office work does not give me this. No. Today, just reflect on which area of yours is blocked. Just reflect and see. Just close your eyes for 2 minutes and just reflect on which area is blocked of yours. And you will understand ki what it is happening, where it is happening in your body. Because somewhere after doing the mistake, what has happened is we have gone into guilt. And that guilt has got stuck. Why I shouldn't have done this? Why I shouldn't have said this? मुझे ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए था. I shouldn't have spoken like that. Oh, I should have given the money when he needed it, right? This is what we do with ourselves. And when we are doing all this with ourselves, we are going in blaming ourselves also. And with that, we are not learning to grow, but we are going into the guilt trip. So that is what today she's saying, that we are humans. We are going to make mistakes. And it's one of the beautiful things about being human, she says. But you must learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, your life will have lot of unnecessary pain. If I give you an example, if someone invests in some shares, okay, and it does not work well, and then next time also he puts in the shares, again it does not work well, again he invests in the shares and does not well. What will you tell that person? What has that person done? Has that person learned anything from that? What should have he what if you feel, if I give you this example, that the person was investing in shares but went in loss, again he invested, went in loss, again he invested, went to, what was his mistake? What did he not learn from the mistake what he did?
maybe
Anyone?
maybe he is not didn't do his research properly, or
Yes. He did not do his research properly. When he went for the first time loss, it's okay to make mistakes, but next time when you're investing, you have to do some research. That does not mean that you're not going to invest only in shares. That is not the right method, because then you will never grow, then you will never learn. But if you research properly, if you understand properly, then only you will grow. So any mistake, any area of yours which is not working or which is blocked you feel, it could be your health, it could be, somewhere few years back you spoke very rudely to some person, and now whenever you think about it and you say, yaar, nahi karna chahiye tha, ya ho gaya, galti ho gaya, and all, just reflect on that area and just write it down today. Whatever mistake you feel you have done, maybe you might have done mistake in your younger days. Maybe you played with your health in the younger days. You did not take care of your health. You ate whatever you wanted to eat. You did not exercise. You slept late nights. You partied late nights, right? So this also could be your mistakes. So she says, how do you learn from a mistake? Gratitude. No matter how bad something may seem, there are always many things to be grateful for. And when you look for as many things as you can to be grateful for in a mistake, you magically transform the mistake into blessings. Mistakes attract more mistakes, and blessing attracts more blessings. Which would you prefer? So she says, no matter how bad something may seem, there are always many things to be grateful for. Even the bigger and bigger mistakes will have something to be grateful for. So when you look for as many things you are grateful for in a mistake, you magically transform the mistake into blessings. So mistakes attract more mistakes and blessings attracts more blessings. Which would you prefer? Do you want to do mistake again and again, or you want to be in gratitude? So the first thing, if any relationship is not working or any investment is not working or any job area is not working, ask yourself, why is it not working? Second thing is accept it. When you start accepting, then you first try to reflect and find out, oh, it was my mistake. So when you accept your mistake, then you start realizing, oh, I could have done it this way. Maybe I could have been better in my relationship, or maybe I would have, thought twice or taken someone's, what you say, take someone's help for investing in shares. So you first thing is that you have to accept, reflect. These two words you have to remember in this chapter. Accept first, take the responsibility for your action. If I shouted at my son or my daughter or my husband or my in-laws or my anyone, I will first take the responsibility for my action. Yes, I shouted. And then I'll reflect, why did I shout? What did it trigger me? What was that my child or my husband or my wife or my in-law said to me that, I became so angry? And then I'll write it down. And then I'll start writing gratitude for that. Ki I'm grateful ki at least he's helpful. I'm grateful that at least he supports me when I need him. That way you are going to find gratitude in your mistakes. So she says, today think about a mistake you have made in your life. It doesn't matter whether it was a big or a small mistake, but choose one that still hurts when you think about it. Come on, write it down. Take your journals, write it down. One mistake which still hurts you. It could be in any area of your life. It could be money. It could be anything. Write it down. Reflect which area is blocked. You will come to know which mistake I did. Maybe you have spoken rudely to your in-laws, or maybe you have spoken rudely to your brother, sister, maybe a mistake, you did at the office. Maybe you had some very good relationship with your colleague and one of your colleague, and then you just spoke something very rudely one day, and then your relationship has gone sour. So it could be any mistake, maybe investment, maybe savings, maybe, you wanted to buy that time and you did not buy, thinking it is too costly. That also was your mistake. And now when you think back, you think, oh, I should have bought that time only this thing. So write it down. So just, but choose one that still hurts you when you think about it. One mistake, जो अभी भी आप when you think about it, oh my, I should have taken care that time. It could be anything related to your health, money, relationship, anything. Maybe you lost your temper with a person close to you and the relationship hasn't been the same since. Okay. Maybe you put blind faith in another person and got burned. So she's saying maybe you lost your temper with a very close person and the relationship hasn't been the same. Or maybe you put a blind faith in another person. You trusted someone and he broke your trust. Maybe he said, you invest in my company and you invested in his company. Or maybe he asks you to lend you some money and you lend some money. And now that person is literally is troubling you to pay back the money. So you put the trust. That was your mistake. So maybe you told a white lie to protect someone. Sometimes in life we have to do this, right? So maybe you told a white lie to protect someone, and because of it, you ended up in a difficult situation. You might have chosen the cheaper option on something and it all went wrong and ending up costing you a whole lot more. Maybe you thought, this sale is there, I'll go and buy, and you bought something which was very cheaper. You bought some electronics and something, and it all went wrong and it ended up costing, maybe afterward they put tax or something, or it stopped working and all, and you had to spend more money in repairing it. So you might have thought that you were making the right decision about something, but it completely backfired on you. Okay, think about that and write it down because today you're going to work on that. So now she says, once you have chosen a mistake to magically transform into blessings, look for the things you are grateful for. To help you, there are two questions you can ask yourself. What is the first question? What did I learn from this mistake? What did I learn from this mistake? Okay, that you can ask yourself once you have written this mistake, write down what did I learn from this mistake. This is the answer question you have to write and then write the answer to it. Second question is, what are the good things that came out of the mistake? Like if I invested somewhere and that person ran away, like I had done, I lost money. When my husband was there, we had invested in something and we really lost 2 to 3 lakhs. So that was our mistake, right? So what did we learn? The next time when you are investing, okay, next time when you are investing, you have to do proper research. You have to think, go on Google, find about the company and then invest. So because that mistake happened, next time I became more careful, right? While investing. Next time I did more research. Next time I understood, okay, then I should now take baby steps first. I will not put a lump sum money, I will put small money and see first. Okay. So all these good things happened because I learned from that mistake. So I can be grateful for that. That because of that mistake, I learned, that I need to be very careful when I'm investing. Because of that mistake, I understood that, I need to trust people, but I have to be very careful also. I should not blindly trust the people when I'm investing. So these are the two questions you're going to ask yourself. The most important things to be grateful for every mistake are the things you learned from it. Okay. So the most important things to be grateful for about every mistake are the things you learned from it. Okay. So most important thing is what? Any mistake you have done, what you have learned from that. Maybe children will say, I did not study, so I got less marks. That was my mistake, right, Purna? So if I did not study or I did not complete my project, I did not get good marks. So that was my mistake. I cannot blame my parents. Ki, oh, you all did not let me study. I did not get time. We had gone out. No, we cannot blame other people. Remember that. So the most important things to be grateful for every mistake are the things we learn from it. And no matter what the mistake, there are always many good things that came out of it and altered your future for the better. Think this through very carefully and see if you can find a total of 10 blessings in each mistake you have to find out. 10 blessings you have to find out, she's saying, to be grateful for. Okay? To be grateful for. Every blessing you find has a magical power. Write out your list in a gratitude journal or type them on a computer. So, you have to write it in your journal, the whatever the list, of blessings you're going to write. Every blessing you find has a magical power. Remember this, every blessing what you will find in that mistake, it has magical power. So she's given you one example here about the police, what the car she was talking. Okay. Okay, let's take the example of being caught, a person being caught by the police car and receiving a fine. Okay. So what that person, we read that example before, right? That he was saying he started blaming that the police were hiding in the bushes, and that is why he did not see, but he did not accept that he was speeding, right? But if now he has to find his blessings in that, if he has to find out his gratitude, what gratitude he will write. He will write, I am grateful to the police for wanting to protect me from harming myself, because after all that was all they were trying to do, right? So he can write, how he can write grateful, I'm grateful to the police for, because the police was trying to protect me from harming myself. If I think it in the broader sense, because I was speeding, and I'm grateful to the police because if I am honest with myself, I was thinking about other things and I wasn't concentrating on the road. And now he's realizing if I become honest, I can really say that I was really not concentrating on the road, I was just speeding. So I'm grateful to the police because it was foolish to put myself at risk speeding with a tire that needed to be replaced. Okay. So I'm grateful to the police because it was foolish to put myself at a risk with the tire which needed, the tire also of his bike was also not in good condition. And I'm grateful to the police for the wake up call. Being pulled over did affect me, and it will make me watch my speed and drive more carefully in the future. Now he realized, so he's saying it was a wake up call for him. Okay, next time he will watch his speed of driving. Okay, and he will be careful in future. I'm grateful to the police because somehow I had a wild idea that I could speed without getting caught and without putting myself in danger, and the seriousness of the police made me face to the fact that I was putting both myself and others in serious danger. So he was thinking, I can go in speed, and I can go anyhow, without putting myself in danger. I can just go in the speed the way I want. But when the police stopped him, he realized to the fact that he had put himself plus other people in danger. So I'm grateful to the police because I think about my own family being put in danger by other speeding drivers. Then I definitely want the police to stop speeding drivers. And then he also realized what in place of me there would have been some other driver who was driving in so much speed, and my family would have been on the road. It would have put my family in danger, right? Or maybe if he was in the car with his family and some other person was driving very in a speed, in a very rash driving, he would have dashed him, and his family also would have been in danger. So he thought about the broader picture, and I'm really grateful to the police for work they do in trying to ensure the safety of every person and the family on the roads, right? Because police are there, we are safe. I'm grateful to the police. They must see the heartbreaking situations every day, and all they are trying to do is to protect my life and my family's life. So he said, then now I feel the gratefulness to the police because now I see that in so many heartbreaking situations they see every day. Some might be, misbehaving with them, someone might be giving bad words to them, but they still are there to protect, us and look into our safety. So I'm grateful to the police for making sure that I arrived home safely and walked through the door to my family as I usually do. So he's grateful that because of the police, I can go home safely and, meet my family. And I'm grateful to the police because all the possible consequences that could have stopped me from my speeding, the police pulling me over was least harmful consequence, and it could have been the biggest blessing of my life. So he's saying all the possible consequence that could have stopped me from my speeding, the police pulling me over was the least harmful consequence. So all he's thinking, if suddenly if I would have been riding very rashly and if I would have met with an accident or something wrong would have happened. So other than that consequences, the police pulling me, was the harmful consequence, was the least harmful consequence, and it could have been the biggest blessing in my life. So that is how she's giving you one example. कि we can find 10 for the mistake you have written now. You're going to sit and write down 10 blessings. You're going to find out 10 gratitude for that. कि because of this mistake of my investment, I learned this. Because of my, my mistake of investing in this company, I learned not to blindly trust people, but also to, research and go ahead and then do my savings or investments. I would strongly urge you to take any mistakes you have made in your life that you still feel bad about, and in your own time follow this magnificent and magical practice. So she's saying in life we have made many mistakes. Okay, every person's life is different, every person's journey is different. So we might have made many mistakes in our life, maybe in our young days, maybe in our college days, maybe when you got newly married, you might have back answered your mother-in-law, father-in-law, maybe anyone. I mean, you don't know what, you forget. So you just reflect. She says that you reflect through all those mistakes, and whenever you are having your own time, follow this magnificent and magical practice. Think about it. Through one mistake, you have the power to bring so many blessings. So imagine if you'll write for so many mistakes, you'll bring in so many blessings. And what else guarantees dividends like that? Okay. You want dividends, right? You every time we get FIDE. Dividend is what? You get more interest, you get more money, right? From your shares. So she says that your blessings will bring that to you. It will give you dividends. So magically transform mistakes into blessings. Magic practice number 26. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you are grateful. Reread your list. And at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Choose one mistake that you made in your life. Okay. Find total of 10 blessings you are grateful for as a result of making that mistake and write them down. She specifies, write them down. Find total of 10 blessings of that mistakes and just write them down. To help you find blessings, you can ask yourself the questions, what did I learn from this mistake? And what are the good things that came out of the mistake? Okay, like if you have had a fight with someone, you can ask yourself, okay, what did I learn from this mistake? And write it down. Okay, I learned that, I should not lose my temper easily. Before speaking something, I should reflect upon myself and then speak. I should not just burst out. And then you learned this. Then now start writing good things that came out of the mistake. So what good came? I understood that I have to learn to be very calm. Because of this fight, I understood that no, I have my child or with whomever you have had a fight or anything. You can write ki you have, because of that fight, I came to know that I lose my temper very easily because of that fight. I'm truly grateful to that fight. Because of that fight, I understood where, where I was going wrong with my child. Everything you can write it like that in the gratitude form. A very good exercise, my favorite chapter, my favorite exercise whenever any mistakes happen, just write it down in your journal and do it. Reflecting upon yourself is very important. And just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened during the day. So just before you sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words. I hope you all are doing that. Count your blessings, and this every chapter she has asked us to do. So that those two practices are really very important. Every day when you do this practice, then and when we'll finish the book, one day I will give you how you can imbibe all these practices in 1 hour. You can do it. Some practices you can do it orally. Some practices you do when you go out. Some practices you do when you go out, right? When you are traveling, when you're going out, some practices you can do that time also. So you can do that. So tomorrow we are moving to day 27, magic mirror. Tomorrow, please keep a mirror, small mirror with you. Keep a small mirror like that with you, or your hand purse mirror that way with you. Yes, any question from today's?
Madam, I just wanted to know, like, in a situation in an office and all, with colleagues, uh, there comes a mistake, that person did, and he doesn't accept that. He smartly puts on us, where I'm not smart enough to, to control that situation. What will happen to me and what will happen to that person?
See, you don't have to be now. See, if you are saying that if the person puts the blame on you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, you don't have to think. If you have not done the mistake, then you don't have to think. Okay. And now I'll tell you my one thing, that when I was a coordinator in IGCSE school, I had a team of 25 teachers under me, and some big blunder had happened. And our principal had called us, and we all were in her cabin standing in front of her. And her principal was doing blah, 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 all her, things. She was just keep on, she was telling everything. And no teacher was ready to say sorry. They were saying, no, it's not our mistake. And I just did only one thing. I just say, ma'am, I'm really very sorry from my team. I really acknowledge it and I really accept it. And next time I'll see to it that it does not happen. And there she became cold. So it depends how much you are ready to accept. Okay. Now, in your case, if you feel that, some other person has done the mistakes, that is not your mistake, right? So you will not own it up. You will
Yeah.
not own it up. Yes, but there would be a lesson for you also. Remember that. Because if that person has done the mistake and he is blaming you along with, with him, then there is a lesson to be learned in that. You have to find out, okay, what do I learn from this mistake? I mean, though the person is to be blamed, but there is a learning lesson for you also. Okay, next time I don't have to blindly trust that person. Next time I have to, not listen to everything what he's saying. Or maybe I don't know what is the situation what you're talking about, but yes, you can definitely, learn from that mistake also, which the other person is putting the blame. Yes, you do not have to take the mistake if you have not done it. You should not own it up also. You will never own it up.
Yeah, because I've learned it over a period of time, because those times and I was very sensitive, take it to the heart and all that. But over the period of time, I have accepted that, and now I'm in a better situation to handle this. Yeah.
Good. So, see these, but these mistakes, which come in front of you. Yesterday, like what Akshata ma'am was saying, and I said it's a magic cue. Okay? It's a magic cue for you. So that time you have to say that I'm very safe. I'm grateful that I'm very safe, that my boss has not blamed me for it. I'm very safe. So that way it's a magic cue that you have to be grateful that you are safe. You are not being blamed. So when any other person blames you, you are not going to own the mistake. You are just going to learn from that mistake. What are your learnings? Okay, what are my learnings? Oh, this person is doing like that. What should I be alert with? What are the things I should look into it? And then write it down in your journal and keep, "Okay, this is what I have learned from this mistake." Not necessary that you own it. And handling, see, in office situations, what happens if someone is blaming you? There are many times, if you just say, "Okay, it's okay," if you feel that I'm okay with it. And you will see the next day that person will come and say sorry to you. Yes, but in the office politics, I would definitely say that you would speak up and say that I have not done this. It is very necessary. You cannot just be very quiet, right? So you have to know what are the mistakes and when you are doing these mistakes and how to handle. Because if you have not done any mistake and if someone is blaming you, I'm not going to keep quiet, right? I'm not going to keep quiet. I will definitely put my point of view, but how will I put the point of view? It will be in a very different way. I can always say that I think, yeah, you think that it's my mistake, but if you go to see this is what has happened. And I was not at all involved there. If you speak, in a proper tone, if you speak in a proper way, then it helps. But if you get angry and speak, then it changes the whole situation. Right? It changes the whole situation. You might have noticed this in the office also. So first try to cool that person, try to, and then talk to that person. See, this is where you went wrong, and that is why this things happened. And you can explain to him later on, because when that thing is happening, if you try to explain to that person also, that person will not listen. Examples are in our own home also, I mean, with each other also. If you go to see the family members also. See, because we are not wrong. No Lakshmi ji is wrong, no Kumaran ji is wrong, no Purna is wrong, no Maria ji is wrong, no Suji is wrong. No one is wrong. We are having our own perspectives. We are having our own point of view, which we feel is right. Which we feel is right. So, but there is a way of putting a point of view, to the front person. So when you put your point of view properly in front of the other person, then only that person is going to listen. But if you get angry, if you speak rudely, you back answer and you speak, then that is not going to help. So you have to judge the situation. You have to also judge the situation, how to judge that time what is happening. If it's very hot, it's very angry thing or angry situation happening, you're not going to involve yourself that time. Just keep cool, because sometimes it backfires on you also, na? If you go to speak something sometimes that time, so that you have to just keep cool that time. Just give a look at that person who's blaming you, just give a very cunning look at that person, that as if you're trying to tell that, see, you are blaming me without reason. There is a body language, what you can show it to the front person, right? So you can use that time. Okay, you show the body language and explain it to them. Yeah, any other question coming to your mind? Today's chapter is very interesting. Huh? Remember, see, today you all are coming in this journey. So you are seeking something, right? You are seeking something. So whatever you are seeking, always remember that is also seeking you. So whatever I am seeking, that is also seeking me. So what you are looking for is also looking from the universe towards you. Deeper sense understanding what I'm trying to say. Whatever you are looking in your journey, that is also seeking you. That is why you are in this journey. That is why you are in this journey. Any question? Lakshmi ji, Suji ji? Purna, you don't have any question? I love the way she sits every day. Great. Any other question? No questions? No? Then we wind up? Yes? Good job. Thank you all. God bless you all for joining. So have a blissful night. I have a function to attend, so I had to take it a little early today. So thank you for joining. God bless you all. Have a blissful night, and may all your dream comes true. Magic dust on all of you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.